What's going on, guys, and welcome back to All Things Cars. Today we're going to be going over how you can detail and super clean your vehicle in the wintertime to make sure that it's looking top notch. As you can see here, this is my 2017 Alfa Romeo Giulia, and this thing has seen some better days. As you can tell, winter here in New York with the salt and just the amount of dirt and stuff that's on the road has plastered the side of this car with this white residue and all sorts of nasty stuff. So the car is not looking its best, and it's been about a month since I've given it its last wash. As you can see, everything is just covered in this kind of grime and soot. So a lot of it is salt dust, but we're gonna show you today how you can take care of that and get your car looking like this in just a short period of time. So, if you're new to the channel, guys, please be sure to like this video, comment down below what you think, what kind of car you drive, and how you clean your car, and even subscribe to the channel if you want to see more awesome content with this car and more tips and tricks on how to keep your car looking fresh. So, without further ado, let's get into the first step of cleaning the exterior of your dirty vehicle. First thing you're going to want to do is gather all of your wash materials. Now, this isn't everything we're going to be needing for the full detail, but for the wash portion of this kind of car wash detail video, this is what you're going to be needing. So you're going to first want to get 2 buckets. Here I have a first bucket with a scrub brush for the rims. This just gets into the rims and gets into the wheel wells and all of that, so it can scrub everything out. I also have a brush here. This is going to be good for scrubbing down the actual tire and rubber itself. I also have another little detail brush in here. This is going to be good for actually scrubbing the face of the rims, and then there's just a rag in there as well. So I have this bucket here. This is going to be for specifically cleaning the wheels, so we're not cross-contaminating with the bucket that's going to be used for cleaning the actual body of the car. And as you can notice, in both buckets I have a grit guard at the bottom, and what that does is it just keeps the dirt, the sand, the salt at the bottom of the bucket, and it doesn't contaminate the rest of the water. So that's what we're going to need for the rims. On top of that, the soap I like to use for the rims is this Autofanatic wheel cleaner. Now, any products you see in this video, I'm not sponsored by anybody, nor do I endorse any of these brands. This is just what I found to work best on my car. You might find it to be different with your car, and that's okay. But I have this Autofanatic wheel cleaner, mega concentrate. It does a good job at getting off a lot of the brake dust as well as the salt dust in the wintertime. So I highly recommend this. We'll be putting a little bit of that into our bucket there, filling it with water. And I also have a foam can in here. Now, if you don't know what this is you put some soap and some water in here, and you get a good ratio going. And it uses air to compress it and to foam everything up. And I'll show you how that works later. But I'm going to be doing that solely for the wheels today. Now, on top of that, I have a separate bucket, like I showed you before, for washing the car, the actual body of the car. This we're going to fill with some of this here lithium double tap car wash soap. Again, I'm not sponsored. This is just what I really like. It smells like mint, and it has really good minerals and stuff that just helps rejuvenate the paint and gives it a really good shine after you're done washing it. So we'll end up putting some of that in the bucket, and I have myself a microfiber wash mitt there as well. So those are the basic things you're going to need for starting the wash. Alrighty, so first thing we're going to do is I've gone ahead and I've filled this with a solution of the wheel cleaning soap and water, and I've actually gone ahead and pumped it up so it's pressurized now. And what we're going to do is we're going to just spray down the whole face of each of the rims, and we're going to go in to the wheel wells and just try to spray everything down, foam it up, and we're going to let that sit and let it decontaminate everything, and that's going to help start our cleaning process. So as you can see, just get nice coverage over everything. And so basically what you're going to do is you're just going to cover the rims, and I'll go ahead and I'll get in the wheel wells as well. But you're going to want to cover everything, and you're going to let that sit. All right, so next thing I like to do while the wheels are kind of degreasing and the soap is taking care of that is I actually go ahead and in my bucket take a little bit more of that wheel cleaner, throw just a little bit in to the bottom there. And then what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to fill this up with some water, and then we'll go ahead and give the rims a scrub. All right, and so now that our rims have been sitting and the soap has kind of been doing the work and our bucket is filled over here, what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna take this, make sure you get it kind of all wet and soaped up, and then you're actually just gonna go in and scrub inside the wheel well and the inside of the rim. So first I like to do the rims, just make sure that I'm getting all over the place. And for the sake of time, I won't show you the whole thing, but you do that to the whole inside. Then I take this brush and I dip it in here. And this again is for our rubber. So we just go ahead and scrub down our rubber there. And so you'll do that to the whole rim and the whole wheel. And then you take your detail surface brush, go ahead in there, and you're just gonna go ahead and scrub down the whole rim, the whole face of the rim. Make sure you're getting everywhere nice and good. So you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna do this whole process, make sure you're getting the whole rim and the whole wheel and trying to get inside the fender liner there as well, clean all that gunk out. And you're gonna go ahead and then rinse it down when you're done. And we'll repeat that to all 4 wheels and I'll come back to you with the next step. Alrighty, once you have done that to all 4 rims, they should be looking a lot better. As you can see, we brought back some of that blackness to the color of the rims, and everything is minus salt, dust, and debris. So that's gonna be the first step, is just making sure all of your rims are cleaned off and ready to go. So next thing you're gonna wanna do is we're gonna move on to the paint work. But before we start scrubbing or anything, you're just gonna wanna give the car a general rinse down. All right, and with the car rinsed off and that first layer of debris and grime rinsed off, we are ready to move on to our next step. But before we do so, I would like to note one thing about my car that is a little bit different. On my car, it is ceramic coated. Now, ceramic coating is a type of coating you can put on the car once it is all dry and clean that just basically helps to prevent corrosion to your paint and helps to protect the surface, and it makes the water, as you can see, bead up a lot better than it would on a non-coated surface. Now, this helps to keep the car cleaner for longer and protect it from any sort of like if a bird were to poop on it, it would help it from eating away at your paint and causing any damage to it. So if your car is not coated, it's okay. You can follow the same steps I'm going to be doing in this video. But for the next step, the actual washing portion of the car, you might just want to wash it twice to get the same kind of results that I'm going to get. With a ceramic coat, it's a lot easier to wash, and I do truly recommend that if you have a nice car or you have any car at all that you want to keep protected and clean, especially throughout the winter, that you do coat it. But with that being said, we're ready to move on to our next step, and that's actually washing the car. So to do so here, again, we have our bucket with our wash mitt, and here is our lithium soap that we're going to be adding in. So I like to just throw a few glugs into the bottom of the bucket. Then I throw in my wash mitt in the bucket, throw a glug or 2 on top of there, and then we can go ahead and fill it up with some water. All right, so when it comes to actually washing the paint work and the full vehicle, you're gonna wanna do it from top to bottom of the car, because your top is gonna be most likely the cleanest area of your car, and the bottom is going to be the dirtiest parts of your car. So you don't wanna be tracking any of the, let's say for instance on my car, the salt, dust, and debris and the dirt from the bottom of the car up onto the top of the car and leaving dirt and debris up there where it doesn't need to be. So you're always gonna wanna start the roof first, the windshield, and then the hood, and then kind of work my way to the sides and to the bottom of the car. So we're gonna go ahead and just take our wash mitt here. Again, we filled it up with that lithium soap in there, and so we got it all nice and soaped up. And then you just wanna do nice, even back and forth strokes. You don't wanna add any scratches or swirl marks to your paint. You just wanna do a nice, even kind of back and forth motion. You don't have to apply too much pressure either. The soap and the cleaning pad, the microfiber mitt here, will do all of the work for you. So you're just gonna go ahead and you're just gonna keep getting all of the car soaped up. And if you feel that there isn't enough soap, like I might go ahead and add just a little more soap to my bucket here because I'm not getting too much soap off this mitt, you can go ahead and do so. Again, this is where like a foam cannon would kind of help out with that. But just for the sake of time here, we're gonna just do the mitt. But again, you're gonna wanna go over the whole car, start with your top, work your way to the bottom, back and forth strokes, nice and even. Let the soap and the mitt do a lot of the work. So I'm gonna go ahead and wash the car. You guys can follow all of these steps, same steps that I'm doing, and then we'll come back to you and I'll show you how to effectively dry the car and detail it after it's dried. Now, a fun little tip I found for cleaning the exhaust is the best way to do it is take that brush that you were using for your rims, get a little bit of that wheel cleaner on there, and actually just go ahead and insert it and just kind of twist it around, and this thing does a great job of removing all of the grease and anything that's kind of all the carbon buildup inside the actual exhaust outlet, as well as the kind of trim piece for it as well. And then there you go, it's clean, you rinse it out, and that's a great way. You can see all that black soot that it took out of the exhaust there. So that's a great way to clean your exhaust out. Also guys, if at any moment you feel that there's a spot on the car, let's say you're trying to clean out these badges here and you can't really get into it with the wash mitt, you can go ahead and actually just scrub it out there with one of these detail brushes. So any kind of hard to reach spots, make sure you get one of these brushes and really get in there and clean them out. Alrighty, once you have the car all washed and rinsed down, it should be looking 20,000 times better than it did when you started. As you can see, yes, the car's still wet now, but we have no more of that pesky salt, dust, and grime, especially on the rims, and the car is looking a whole lot healthier. So the next step is going to be to dry the car, and here is how I like to do it. All right here I have my trusty Cobalt leaf blower, and actually this is a great way of kind of drying off your car in a effective and very efficient manner, because this will blow off 90% of the water. Especially if your car is coated, the water will come off very quickly and very easily, and this is a great way of getting water out of those kind of hard to reach places, like in the jams and in the cowls here for the windshield wipers. So actually using a leaf blower or some sort of compressed air is the best way I found to efficiently dry your car. So let's go ahead and blow dry the car off. All right, and once you have gone ahead and blown dry the car, you can tell you should be left with a car that is pretty much almost dry. Now, if you don't have some sort of leaf blower like I do, or compressed air system, or any way of blow drying the car, using a perfectly good microfiber towel will do the job just fine. But as you can see, if you do have some sort of, even a leaf blower, anything will work. It does dry the car almost 100%, especially with a coating. The water will slip right off, and then all that's left is for you to detail the car. So to go ahead and detail the car, there's just a few things you got to do to clean up the car and really get it into mint condition while protecting your paint and making it look absolutely stunning. So let's get into the first thing you got to do to finish up detailing this car. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do for detailing the car is I'm going to go over all of the painted surfaces, and I'm going to use a detail polish and just dry them off with the rag. So what I like to use is this Ignite Afterwash from Lithium. It's a great polisher. It brings a great shine. As you can tell, it says glow and everything. It has polymers, so it protects the paint, gives it back that natural shine, and helps to make this car look top notch. So what I do is I just go ahead and I spray some of this on each panel, and then I go ahead and I wipe it off with a nice microfiber cloth. So I'm going to show you guys that real quick. All right, so how I do it is I start with a panel here. We're going to do it on the hood, so it's easy to see. Just a few squirts on the hood. Then I take my microfiber cloth and I just buff it in and wipe it all down. Now, you don't want to go too aggressive again. You just want nice, even strokes. You don't want any circles. That's just going to leave scratches in your paint and counteract the detail process. But nice, even pressure, back and forth strokes. And if you want, you can flip it over to the other side to kind of dry it off even more. And what you're left with is a super glossy and shiny surface. As you can tell, this thing looks absolutely amazing once you finish that. So what you do is you go ahead and do this to every panel of the car, every surface, even your windows and your mirrors and stuff like that. Go ahead and just spray a little bit on, buff it in, wipe it off, and you get a incredible looking result. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that to the rest of the car, and I'll cut back to you guys. Alrighty, and once you've done that, your car should be looking pretty much done and dusted. Now there's a few other things you can do to this car to really finish it up and make it look 100%. And we're gonna do that by starting with the rims. As you can see here, now we might have dried down the whole car, but we wanna focus on these rims and get them polished and looking really good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that same Ignite After Wash polish that I was using on the paint to dry it off, and I'm gonna spray some just on the surface of the rim and wipe it down and buff it out. All right, now your rim should be looking absolutely glossy and perfectly shiny and clean, but as you can tell, our tires really don't match that. So to combat that, we're going to be using this here Chemical Guys vinyl rubber plastic protectant and shiner. And what this does is it's going to put a nice coat onto our tires and make them look glossy and nice and deep black again to match the nice rims here. And as you can see, that's truly brought back the life to these tires. And just look how much better it looks now, and it matches the whole rim. If you just take a step back, this thing looks absolutely insane now. So you're just gonna go ahead and repeat that on all 4 of the rims and really help to finish this car up. All right, and the last thing to do before your car is perfectly detailed and showroom ready is to go ahead and open up your doors, and actually you're gonna wanna just dry off your door jambs. A lot of people forget to open up the doors and dry off the inside of them, but if you don't, you can tell all of this water here, at least on my car, kind of sits on this ledge and then eventually runs down the side skirt there to the back of the car and ends up getting the whole kind of side panel of the car that you just spent a long time cleaning all dirty again. So you're just gonna wanna go ahead, take a microfiber cloth and just dry off all of your door jambs. And with that, guys, the wash is done and you've just successfully detailed and cleaned your car in the wintertime. As you can tell, the result is absolutely fantastic for this thing. Every surface is glistening, squeaky clean, and this car just looks absolutely fantastic. This red paint is just incredible to wash. And this wash and this whole process works really, really well on just about any car that you can think of. Come around to the back here too. All of the carbon fiber, all of the aluminum pieces, everything just glistens and shines and looks really, really good. So this definitely is worth your time. It only took me about 2 hours to fully do this, and that was with filming. So this is totally worth your time to get a car that's gonna look showroom ready and brand new and stand out on the road, especially in the wintertime. So I wanna really quick apologize for all of the angles in this video. It's like 20 degrees outside, so I did have to film this in my garage, hence the kind of clutter and tight spacing, but man, this was totally worth washing it, and I'm glad I got to share this process with you guys. So if you did enjoy this kind of super clean and detail of your car in the wintertime, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos like this, and comment what you think and let me know if I did a good job or if there's some things I should change to my cleaning process. But yeah, with that, we're gonna flash some before and after pictures on the screen here, and I hope you enjoyed, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.